right, friends, if you are new around here, my name is Nikki and I am addicted to buying these Goodwill mystery bins / pallets. I call them pallets. They're really like huge bins, you guys. They give you about 10 minutes to look around before the auctioning starts. They've been having more and more hard goods pallets. I have not pulled the trigger on buying one of these. I'm a one-woman show, and you can tell from this footage. They pack some of these really high, and there's literally everything. There's VHS tapes. I have not seen one of these in so long, you guys. I feel like if you're under the age of 20, 25, you may not even know what these are. That makes me feel so old. There are literally everything in these hard goods bins. There are VHS tapes. I've found suitcases. I've found furniture in them. So there's a lot more heavy lifting in these. These hard goods pallets are very popular. They're more popular than the clothing pallets. So I usually leave that to everyone else because these all get sold, while some of the clothing pallets don't sell at all. Like, look at this one. It has this cookware in it. It has these jewels that you can stick on things. It just has everything. So I have not pulled the trigger on that. If I ever buy one of those, I would need to bring someone with me. Those sold anywhere from $10 to $100. Literally, there was one that sold for $10 that was just nothing but VHS tapes, and then the one that I just showed you sold for $100. I haven't seen any of these sell for more than $100, but I went to my happy place. I started looking at the clothing pallets, and lucky for me, they had a ton this day. Sometimes they'll have a ton of hard goods pallets and then like almost no clothing, but you can see all of these bins right here. They're all clothing. So I was very excited. I was very tempted to buy two. But like I said, some of these pallets, the one that I ended up buying on this day that you'll see in a minute, ended up having close to 500 items in it, you guys. So I try to be realistic. I feel like sometimes my eyes get bigger. All the clothing I see, it's like a kid in a candy shop, but I have to stop myself and be like, realistically, we just need one. So you can go through the pallets, you can look at the items in the pallet. You just can't move things from one pallet to another. Like, I saw one girl, she found like a Lululemon sweater and she was trying to move it to the pallet, I guess, that she wanted to buy, and the guy got not mad. The people that work here are so nice. And also, considering I am one of the few I was going to say English speaking buyers, but that's not true. Everyone here speaks English, but I'm one of the few people here, if not the only, that does not speak fluent English. And they are so kind to me. They're so nice. They know that I usually have no idea what they're saying because everything's done in Spanish, you guys. But then when they get to me, they're like, okay, $40, $60. So I ended up paying $40 for my pallet, you guys. No, I'm sorry, $60. I just looked at the receipt. I paid $60 for my clothing pallet. It had close to 500 items in it. If you are new around here, I don't usually keep everything. I usually get about 150 items. But on this day, friends, I was able to get 200 items to resell. I was very excited about that. And then one of the workers that works in the parking area where you can unload these and put them in your car helped me. So I'm going to tell you about that. And then I'm going to show you me processing this pallet because this is a lot of work, friends. All right, friends, I'm hoping these people don't get mad at me, but basically one of the workers put me right in the front near the gate, which is a really coveted spot because then you can pull in and out. You don't have to ask people to move. But he saw that I only have one bin. So he was just like, we're just going to put you here, load up your car, and then go. So I'm going to try to do this in lightning time and speed so that these people don't get mad at me. Okay, it's really loud because they're having deliveries. But he basically, like, that's the way out. That's my pallet, and this is my trunk, you guys. Oh my gosh, I already have pallets in my trunk that I didn't have time to drop off at storage. I don't know if you can even hear me, so this is going to be super interesting, but let's see what we can do, you guys. I literally at this point have you stacked in the pallet on clothing. He parked me so close to my pallet, you guys, which was nice because I could easily get everything into my car, but it was difficult to film. I keep saying I need to bring my cell phone stand so I can actually film myself better processing this. But I mean, the way that you have to park sometimes, it just doesn't work out. I don't know what was happening with this palette, but I scored, you guys. This is like, this whole palette was nothing but sweaters, coats, jackets, and tops, and a couple like dresses. 2 coats I found in here are going to cover the cost of this palette. I found 2 Banana Republic trench coats and then 1 J. Crew blazer that's new with tags that will cover the cost of this palette, and then everything else is profit. This was amazing. And there you guys go, tumbling on the mountain of clothes. That's how many clothes are in this palette, you guys. I can stack you on the clothes and it's still it's almost as tall as I am. So St. John's Bay, that is one brand I don't think I have ever sold ever in like almost 15 years of reselling. Even when I first started like 15 years ago, I never picked that brand up. It just doesn't have any resale value for me. I know some people do okay selling it. I do not. This Orvis chenille sweater was in really good condition. I decided to take that to my local women's shelter because they have requested that if I find any sweaters to bring it to them. I've been overloading them with stuff, you guys. So that stuff to the left that you see is what I was taking to my local women's shelter. But then before I left, the lady next to me was like, oh, I can take some of that stuff if you don't want it. So I actually gave her quite a bit, and I took the really nice sweaters to my women's shelter. I've actually sold this brand. It's made in Italy. It's Benedetta. I always mispronounce it. It doesn't have a ton. It doesn't sell for a ton of money for me, but the last time I sold a sweater, it's made in Italy, I sold it for $50. So stay tuned for the haul. Let's go to storage. I'm going to show you some other things that have been selling recently. Today is my first day back from vacation. And it's always so weird coming back here, you guys, when I haven't been here for a while. And for me, a while is literally 3 days. I haven't been here, no, I think it's 4 days. I haven't been here in 4 days, and that's weird for me because I literally come here 6 days a week, yeah, all the time. So I just thought I'd give you an update. I always keep a little, like recycle bag here / it's really trash because it's like some stuff I can recycle, some stuff I can't. So I just keep that there. Because, you know, sometimes I package things up here. I have tape, whatever. A lot of it is recycling, though. This one is going to Threadup. These 2 boxes are going to Threadup. I told you guys I've been picking up, selling there again. So far, so good. If you guys want to see some what sold items that's been selling there, let me know. From what I can tell, I've been selling there. I've started sending them couple boxes a month now. Bread and butter stuff does not do great for me there. Not for me, at least, okay? When I say bread and butter, I'm talking Madewell, J. Crew, Banana Republic. Like pre-COVID, you guys, 5-6 years ago, I could sell those items, buy them at the bins, like a basic Banana Republic blazer, and I could make $20, $30 profit. Easy. That does not happen anymore. They've totally changed their payout structure. I don't even understand it, so I can't explain it to you. If you want to check out their website, I mean, they literally change their policies. It feels like every month, so I'm exaggerating a little, but they change their policies very frequently, you guys. So bread and butter has not been doing great for me. If I'm lucky, I make like a couple bucks. Like a J. Crew, no, a Madewell sweater. I just checked before I started filming. A Madewell bodysuit that I sent them, I got from the bins. I paid $1 for it, and it gave me a profit of $4. So it's just not the same. What I am mostly sending them, you guys, are items that I was planning on donating. So like this box, I was going to donate to my local women's shelter, but I've been giving them so much stuff because I've been buying these Goodwill outlet mystery palettes. They're like, can you just bring us stuff like once every other week? I was literally taking them stuff like 3 times a week. So this was stuff that I was going to give to them or take back to Goodwill. So I just send it to Threadup. I do no return assurance. I don't want it back. If I make a couple bucks, great. If I don't, it's a ton of like J. Crew, Madewell, stuff like that. And I list J. Crew and Madewell myself, you guys. Don't get me wrong. Like I love selling bread and butter stuff, but these are like more basic white, black, no print, not very current, stuff like that. This is a box of higher end clothing that I put return assurance. So like return assurance means if they don't want to sell it, send it back to me. I pay that fee on anything high end I send them. I've been sending them Gucci, and I'm talking high end. This box has Gucci, Fendi, Chanel sunglasses. These boxes, I do a list of every single thing I send them because Threadup has been known to lose things. I will say personally, for me, they have not lost. I've been selling with them for over 5 years. They've only lost 2 of my items. I say only 2. I think considering the amount that I've sent them, that's pretty good. But I have heard horror stories of Threadup losing many items for people. So anything high end that I want back, I actually do take the time. It's very time consuming, but it's worth it. And I take an itemized list of every single thing I'm putting in this box, because this box is worth thousands of dollars, and I'm not exaggerating. So high-end stuff, I do a list, I tape it up, I take photos. It's a lot of work, you guys, but what I have found is that the high-end stuff is doing really good. Like, I'm making very good profit on the high-end stuff. But it's just a lot more work, and I recommend, like, if you are sending them high-end clothing, shoes, handbags, whatever it is, you guys, make sure you make an itemized list, because it hasn't happened a lot to me, but they can lose your things. And if you want your items back that they are not going to sell, you want an itemized list so you know what you sent them, so you make sure you get it back. So that's what this box is. This is very heavy, so I actually have hubby come and pick it up, and I've also, little Threadup update. I didn't mean for this to be a Threadup video. They've switched, at least for me, now all my packages with them go to UPS. It used to be the post office or FedEx, but now I do UPS. I don't know, have all of you seen that? For me, it's now UPS. So I never used to take them to the post office, you guys. If you didn't know, if you're still getting those post office labels, you should just take it to FedEx, because basically what FedEx told me is that if you take it to the post office, it sits there, then they take it to FedEx, and then FedEx ships it out. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, now I think they've switched carriers, so this all goes to UPS, and so that's what's happening with Threadup. I'm going to pull some orders. I did not mean for that to be a Threadup update, but there you go. I still have to label these bins because I've just recently done them in inventory, so I need to put the new labels. You can see I'm working through putting new labels so they no longer say bin, it just has the number. For years, you guys, I avoided buying this brand. It retails for so much money. The brand is the Couples. Very expensive retail. I think this dress retailed for $500. But I find this, I honestly, here at home, I find this brand a lot. But when I pick it up, you guys, it just sits and sits. And then I get this dress. I got this in a Rent the Runway palette. I've only had it listed for 2 weeks and it already sold for $100. So I don't know. This is a lesson from me to you and for all of us to always check comps, you guys, because things change and certain items from different brands will sell better than others. Like, I refuse to pick up just basic shirts from this brand. They literally will sit for years for me, even though the shirt retails for like $400. I've literally had a shirt from this brand. It's 100% silk, and it has been sitting for almost 2.5 years. And then you have a dress like this. I mean, it's really nice. It's silk, and it is actually missing the size tag. So what I did, anytime something's missing the size tag that I want to list, you guys, I just put the measurements and I guesstimate the size, and I say, please look at the measurements because it's missing the size tag, and things still sell. So this sold for $100 in 2 weeks. So lesson learned, maybe I should be picking up dresses from this brand. Especially, I find a lot of the stuff from this brand that's 100% silk. I will put the photo of the dress on the screen because here at storage it literally doesn't look like anything, but super happy with that sale. And then I'm also packing up this new with tag Skims bodysuit. I think I've told you guys a lot of the Skims stuff that I'm picking up from my supplier. I buy all my Skims locally here from my supplier. I go and pick it up. I am listing it. It just sells for so much more money. I used to live sell it a lot, but there's so many live sellers that sell it now, and I just list it. It takes a little longer to sell, but you know what? The right buyer comes along. This is the newer Skims tag. It is a bodysuit shapewear. It's padded. It's kind of like a full body shapewear piece. It has shorts. I'll put the photos on the screen. Another great sale, sold for $70 in less than a month. So moving forward, I've just been listing the skims. I just make more money doing that. If you are new around here, when I started live selling in 2021, I can't even remember. I think it's been almost 3 years now. I predominantly sold all of my skims live selling it, but back then I was literally one of 2 people that sold it, and now I'm one of like 100. So I list it. It just sells for more. Like if I were to sell this on a live sell, I'd be lucky to get like $30. So for all of you fellow live sellers out there, you know me, I always preach diversification. If you know you can get more money for stuff, if you have the time and you don't need the cash right away, I say list it, friends. You make more money. But there are certain things that sell for more in a live sell, and there's certain things that you just want the quick cash. So I get it. So getting these literally just sold this morning. I'm filming this at 11 a.m. and these sold this one sold at like midnight, and this one sold at 4 a.m. That's pretty cool. Literally, you guys, while I was just filming that last clip, this jacket just sold for over $350. Backstory on this Montclair jacket. This is a like teen size. I think it's 12, 14. I'll put the listing on the screen because it looks crazy on this bin. This one is missing the zipper pull, and I took very clear photos. I showed that. I put it in the listing. I put it in the photos. I put it in the description. And this just sold for $350. I've had this, you guys, for almost a year and a half, and I have received so many lowball offers. So I guess this is a lesson. And I already know this, you guys, but if you know something you have is worth a lot, unless you need the money very quickly, I say hold out. This is a bolo. It's Montclair. Makes very expensive outerwear jackets. This retailed for over $1,000. I literally, I'm not joking, just yesterday received a $34 offer for this jacket. And that is the first time I thought I might actually block someone for a lowball offer. I've actually done full videos on blocking people that do lowball offers. I know so many resellers have differing opinions on that. Leave your thoughts down below. Let's all be nice. But I've told you guys that in the past, I have never really done that. But the $34 offer on a jacket that was over $1,000, I was like, this person, no, I don't want to deal with you. I was just not in the mood, you guys. So of course I wouldn't have accepted that. But I've literally gotten $200 offers on this, and I was like, no, I know that this jacket is worth at least $300. I'm so glad I held out, you guys. I got this in a Nordstrom palette. That palette was amazing. Oh man, I love some Nordstrom palettes will literally make you thousands of dollars, and some of them it is like setting your cash on fire and you lose $4,000. It's just such a crapshoot with liquidation. But I loved that palette, and I'm happy to see this go to a buyer that knows its value.